My sister-in-law thought that somebody hit her car when it was parked, but it turns out she just had a flat tire. She thought this light on the dashboard was some sort of collision alert and decided to just drive home. Now, I really didn't want to say anything, but the keychain kind of speaks for itself. Now, lucky for her, I like her a little bit, so we're going to get her all fixed up. First things first, we're going to grab the spare tire and get that yanked out of here. Next, we're going to need some tools, so we're going to grab the lug nut wrench and then locate the jack, which is usually under the spare tire. Now we can take the jack off its platform and get it safely into position. Say that 2 times fast. But wait, before you jack up the vehicle, you got to make sure to loosen the lug nuts. It's going to make it a lot easier in the long run. Sometimes the lug nuts can be a little bit stubborn, so it's okay to use persuasion a little bit. Not gonna lie, this tire might be trash, but we're gonna try it and see what happens. And of course, at least one of the lug nuts had to be really stubborn, so I had to break out another tool to really persuade this thing to come off. We're gonna tuck the jack into position, and luckily, they were nice enough to put a little arrow here to let us know where's the safety point to jack the car up from. We're gonna make sure that the e-brake is on and that at least one of the tires are blocked on the opposite side, so we make sure this thing doesn't roll out of the driveway. I probably shouldn't have done that though, because it would have been a lot funnier if the car just dropped, but we'll save that for another video. Finally, we can take the lug nuts off and see what is going on with this thing. And you know it wouldn't be a true small project if there wasn't a little bit of holdup, so now we gotta gently persuade it to come off again. Who needs a typical morning workout routine when you could be working on cars? Now we can get the spare tire installed and ride off into the sunset. Just kidding. We're going to have to make sure we get the old original tire fixed back up and better than ever. And of course, I ran into another issue when installing the spare tire. Once I ended up taking the weight off the jack, I discovered that the spare tire is also flat. But at least I found out what caused all this. So of course I bought this tire repair kit from my local hardware store. Now this is a lot easier to do if the tire is full of air. So we're going to air it up and then we're going to prepare our tire repair kit. Once you have everything prepared, it's now time for operation. It's moments like these that I love because I feel like I'm one of those doctors on TV. You want to make sure that you get the tire plug pretty much in the center of this tool, and that's going to ensure that we get a good seal on the tire. Now for the fun part, we're gonna dig this screw out of the tire and see just how bad this is. Now you can notice I've got the reamer ready because as soon as that screw comes out, you wanna make sure you get that in. That way you don't lose all the tire pressure while you're working on this. Same thing goes when you're ready for the plug. You're going to keep that handy, and then as soon as that plunger comes out, we're going to put the plug into place, and that's going to make this go a lot easier. Now, doing this on the truck bed wasn't the best, so I decided to switch it up and actually move this to the ground. That way I could get more downward force and actually insert this plug all the way. Once you can only see a little